Hi everyone, this is Tony with Laserwar, and in this video we're gonna be reviewing the basic scenarios, and I'll explain how everything works. And the equipment which we'll be using this video is the following. It will be smart control points and digital flags. The scenarios that we will be covering in this video are capture and defend point, deathmatch, and destroy enemy's base. And a bit later I'll show how the whole process occurs. For you to understand, you must have well, a playground of course, and a few instructors that will be explaining the game rules. We'll catch up later, you'll see how everything is going live, and hope you will have a good time watching this video, and I'm hoping that this will really help you understand what Lasertag is and what you need for your business to be successful.
That's an outdoor playground which is located on the outskirts of the city, approximately 6 kilometers from the city. And it's not so easy to come here. You have to have a private transport because, well, public transportation is not good here. So you have to rely mostly on your own car. Like we see here a few cars. We have here basically it's a mixed type, outdoor and indoor. As you saw previously, we were able to play inside, shooting enemies. But the thing is that the total area of that location, of the inner building, is about like 300 square meters. One floor. If we get two, we have two floors, so basically it's like 600 square meters approximately, maybe slightly more. I cannot give the exact numbers, and for that amount, with that total area, having let's say 20 players in total, so 10 versus 10, I believe that's too much. So basically, if you are planning to open up an arena, I would recommend having five versus five, so with that total area. Considering that we have two floors, it can be 10 versus 10, but if you have only one floor and you're planning to have, and you want to host games for more than 10 players, I definitely wouldn't recommend you that.
Alright, hello everyone, this is Tony with Laserwar, and in this video I will show how Lasertag games are usually organized. So here, as you can see, now we have a briefing before the game. The players are lined up. In total there are about 19 players at the moment, and what the instructor is doing now is explaining the rules of the game. That's super important. So the main rules are: we do not hide these sensors. We do not hide the sensors with our hands. We do not try to hide behind the obstacle and shoot. So wherever you shoot, you have to be on the line side of the other player. Then, of course, close combat is prohibited. No interaction between the players at all. You shouldn't grab the weapons, etc.
And the first scenario is the very basic one, is capture and defend the control point. And the instructor is explaining where the control points are to be located and where the main fight will be. So in total there are 3 control points. The number of the points must be odd in order to be able to identify which team has won and which has not. So to capture the point, you need to grab your gun and shoot at it on top of it, and the angle should be 90 degrees. Otherwise, the sensor on the top of the control point might not register the hit, and which means that the control point won't belong to the certain team. And we have the timer. Once we captured the point, the countdown is started, and there is a fixed period of time during which you have to defend the point. The enemy may recapture the point, and the countdown will start for the team that has recaptured. So basically it's all about defending the time. The period of time which we usually use for such scenario is 8 minutes. So the team has to capture and defend the point for 8 minutes. In this scenario, the first aid kits can be used and must be used, and the usage is unlimited, which is important. Anytime a player is killed, he goes to respawn point and presses the button, respawn button. And there is also a difference in player's damage. Each gun has, depending on its type, does a different amount of damage. And there is such an important parameter of a headband. It's a shock time. When a player is hit, if he is hit, he can't shoot back because he is sort of paralyzed, and he has to hide somewhere in order to be able to shoot back. Now we are dividing players into the teams. Of course, we ask them who wants to play with whom. As you can see, there are different players. Some of them are experienced, some are not. And of course, we have to keep in mind the balance. So the most experienced players we try to allocate to the team where the number of new players is most. So as you can see, guys who wear military form play this game not the first time, they're quite experienced here.
Сюда, и Алексей Иванович, сюда. Потому что там он играет первый раз. Что, я к вам даю. Я буду детей курировать, если что. Да, это 4. Так, команда!
So as you can see, the teams have been divided, red and blue, and usually so that players could identify each other, so that they wouldn't shoot each other, we put blue or red tapes on their arms so that players didn't have any difficulties with identifying to which team they belong. Because as you can see, there are a lot of new players and a lot of guys in military uniform, and the thing is that they do not know each other. So the best way to identify who is who is to use tapes. There are other solutions that can be provided. Here is the headbands of different color. Here as you can see, there is a mixture of colors because some players, they have their own equipment and we can't force them to change the headband. So that's why we use a universal method here, is the application of colored tape. Now we are heading to the base where the first aid kit is located, and where players of our team will come anytime they get killed. Yeah, so I just paired my headband with the gun because I came a bit later. Uh, so now with a special remote we check one more time that we are on the same team. And here, as I was saying, there is I'm sorry, there are a lot of people inside. So there is a first aid kit. Well, basically this is a battle base, smart battle base, but we may use a simple first aid kit. I will come to the base of other players next time when we switch locations. Yeah, and before the actual start of the game, the instructors they check if the team is ready. For a moment, we are discussing which players will head to which point. So we are assigning tasks to each other. Usually the more experienced players decide on their own, and we take some extra people with us, in this case kids. So some of them will go.
Вадим, куда ты поведешь свой взвод?
А кто на... А наверх кто пойдет? Просто если не взять второй этаж, то мы сольем.
Все сюда.
Alright, now so the instructor is playing with us, and he will be heading the team with new players, with kids. He is explaining what to do. So the tasks have been assigned to each team, and we are ready to go.
Ты куда? Ты с нами? Все, на контроль.
Alright, so I was checking my site because it wasn't working properly.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Okay, so I got killed again.
В твоем прицеле мелькает томный пристальный взгляд. Ты станешь целью, твоя мишень вновь ищет тебя, листая мысли, глотая горечь старых обид. Я просто выстрел, и один из нас вновь будет убит. Здесь слишком тесно для нас двоих в раю.
So now the second floor is ours. Я минус. Alright, until now I'll show where all the control points are located, so that you had an understanding of what is actually going on here. So here is point number one. I need to buy it because I wear a helmet and have a camera on it. Рассредоточить лучше по разным местам. Кто-нибудь встаньте за блок. Alright, so we have captured one point because it's blinking with our team color. It's red, it's blinking, which is good, which means that we've been defending that for long enough. So now it's ours. And now we have 2 points left. We are currently having them under control. The one is here, it's still red, but it's not blinking. And we have 1 minute left. Okay, so this point is also ours, and we have only one left. Все, она захвачена. Если точка мигает, все, ее не нужно трогать. Ага. Alright, now so I'll go to the respawn base of the other team because I was allocated to another team now. I'll be blue and I'll be playing with the helm with them. Alright, so I'm back in action. I had to attach the sensors a bit better because I was accused of cheating because of not having them attached properly. Alright, so I'm gonna try to capture the second floor. I'm definitely gonna be outnumbered because they have already had the position.
Иди, вперед, вперед, вперед! Рассредоточься!
Вперед, жрать бы нас. Okay, so we have 1 point to the left. We are almost through with the central point, which still is under our control, which is good. And the Просто выбежал, захватил, убежал. Alright, so we've played 2 times the smart control scenario, and now we are going to the next one. So the scenario with the control points is usually played 2 times, maybe 3, it depends, but usually 2. The team winner is determined by the number of overall number of points that were controlled. So, for example, if in the first round the blue team managed to defend 3 points, and in the second round team, for example red team, in this case managed to defend 2 points, not 3, it means that the winner is the blue team, because the overall number is 3 against 2. 3 versus 2. So this is how it works. Or you may change the system of assigning victory. For example, if one team manages to defend the, let's say 2 points out of 3 during 1 round, then the enemy team in round 2 does the same, and then in the round 3 the blue team again controls more points. It means that 2 rounds versus 1, and that's a victory for to the blue team in this case. And between the games, between the scenarios, we have small breaks so that players could refresh a little, drink water of course, have some rest, because not all of them are in perfect physical shape, so you have to keep that in mind. Alright, now, so here is another briefing.
Сейчас мы играем в сценарий Team Deathmatch.
Okay, so team deathmatch scenario. It means that teams do not have any first aid kits, they cannot be respawned. So once you die, you die. And on average, like each player, well, not on average, each player has 100 HP. And as I mentioned in the first section of my video, weapons may have different damage, so it's usually 20, 25 or 30. Sorry, 20, 25, 35. And again, it depends on the weapon type. Rifles have usually 25 damage, which means that you have to make 4 hits at the enemy player. From the strategic point of view, this scenario is different. You cannot run so easily and kill an enemy player, because here it's about being careful. If you are careful, you'll be able to kill other players. And it's not about controlling the territory, it's about tactics, so you have to learn the playground rather well. It's more about taking an enemy in a circle. Strategically, it's quite difficult to do, so basically, most of the time, the players will be sneaking at different locations and trying to kill an enemy player, and that's it.
Ваше Deathmatch, я что вам сказал? Угол. Прям здесь, ладно?
Меня грохнули. Угадайте откуда. Alright, man, so I got killed because I wasn't careful enough. That's what I was talking about. So basically the control of the territory is a major task here. Well, let's say if you fail to capture the key points, you will be screwed up. Alright, now so we are back in action. That will be a second round. The first one we have unfortunately lost, again due to being surrounded by the enemy team, because the location where I was standing, we had not enough people there, and the enemy managed to break through. So that's what I was talking about. It's more about strategy. You have to be extremely careful while playing this scenario, and you have to know map really well. If it's the first time you playing this game, I'd rather, well, if I were an organizer, I wouldn't host such a game for new players, because they do not know how to act. Alright, now so now we have assigned tasks to each team. As you can see, we have 3 small groups. The one group is bigger than another because they have more new players.
You go with me, always. Okay.
Alright, now so I got killed because I didn't see an enemy, and that's the problem with playing against kids, because they are small. Alright, so we are now we are going to record the last very popular scenario, which is called destroy the enemy base. And for this scenario we use digital flags, which look like this. So two devices, they support more scenarios actually, but for this particular one you need two, according to the number of teams. So blue team has to destroy the flag of enemy 2. The instructor will come in a few seconds and he will show how this happens. I'll be translating this, and the digital flags will be placed in at two different locations. And in this scenario we also be using first aid kits or smart battle bases for respawning of the players, since in this scenario we gonna players in general, they die rather frequently. It's not a deathmatch scenario, it's destroy the enemy base scenario.
Я туда. Становитесь в одну шеренгу. Сейчас я расскажу.
So we have two digital flags, one blue, one red.
Конечно. Тут бегают, но здесь не ходят. Так, ребята, ну, вы в курсе, ладно. Ребят, сейчас будем играть сценарий уничтожения вражеской базы. Играем снова с аптечками, будут у нас аптечки на базах.
Yeah, so he says that we can use
вот такие устройства.
first aid kits, but apart from first aid kits, we'll have two bases. One base you have to defend. For example, I play for the blue team, I'll have to defend the blue flag, but I'll have to destroy the red one. And the main objective here is to destroy the enemy's base as much as you can, as many times as you can. So he is saying that to destroy the base you need to shoot right at the center, 90-degree angle, and to destroy it you need to make 12 shots. Once the flag is destroyed, the LED color it will disappear, and after 10 seconds the auto recovery of the base will be initiated. If you want to destroy the base, you need to wait till it's fully recovered. If the LED sections are not glowing fully with the red or blue color, even if you shoot at the base, even if you destroy it one more time, it won't count, because you have to wait till it's fully recovered.
Ну что, все легко и просто.
Посмотрите, где база красная, пожалуйста. Посмотрите, пожалуйста, где база красная.
Right. Пойдем посмотрим, где база находится. Right, so what I haven't shown is where the bases are located. So there are two, as I said previously, two bases, and they are set up at different locations. They are set at different locations. So before starting the game, you must make sure that all players know what they have to defend and what they have to destroy. Это чей будет?
Это будет красный.
Ага. So this one particular will be for the red team. So our objective as a blue team is to destroy this one. Пойдем посмотрим, где... ну хотела... Пойдем посмотрим, где второй находится. Второй флаг находится наш, который нам нужно защищать. Не-не-не, мы там защищать будем.
Защищать?
Да.
А где? Это значит где?
Сейчас покажу.
Находится.
Сейчас покажу. Вот, смотри, вот это нам нужно защищать. Alright, да. И получается, нам нужно будет ныкаться где-то вот здесь, либо здесь. Ну, посмотрим, как будет получаться. So, and here is the second flag, blue flag, and we have to defend it. That is very important. Пошли возрождаться. Ну да. Нас же убили в прошлой игре.
Ну, мы будем, я буду через второй. У меня оружие не активировано.
Так, второй этаж. Кто тоже второй этаж?
Второй этаж?
Ага, второй этаж.
Все второй этаж.
Короче, смотрите, какая тема. Нам нужно по-любому взять второй этаж, потому что, ну, как вы поняли, это ключ к победе в любом сценарии, по большому счету. Особенно, если речь идет о захвате. Как мы будем это делать?
Нет.
Мы сейчас попробуем разу все ломануться по центру, но разбегаемся по разным углам, да? Не стоим так же у входа, а просто рассредотачиваемся, потому что если мы будем стоять у входа, нас всех положат. Соответственно, окей, если нас всех положили, мы опять всем впятером собираемся и пробуем ломануться через те ворота на второй этаж. Попробуем так, план Б, да, потому что если мы будем все время долбиться в одно место, они нас будут убивать. Соответственно, нам нужно постоянно с разных сторон заходить. Если не получится с той стороны зайти, попробуем ломануться с той, потому что второй этаж нужно взять любой ценой. Да. И, да, там очень хорошо будет простреливаться та точка, и немножко вот это будет. То есть, по-любому нам нужно держать будет второй этаж. Попробуй захватить.
Держать их проход.
Готовы?
Так, Максим.
Бежим.
На второй этаж погнали. Аккуратно.
По углам разбежались. По углам. Убивай. Гасить его, вон он, Максим. Большой дядька бегает. Это наш.
Я возрождаться пошел. Alright, so I got killed. Now I go back. The good thing that the second floor is ours. Да. потеряли второй этап. So we lost the second war because the enemy outmaneuvered us. Максим, держи ствол правильно. Да-да-да. Так, Максим, заныкайся вот в этом, ну, возле стрелки здесь, и попробуй. Да. Охраняй вот здесь. Да. Да, охраняй здесь. Да, если видишь противника, стреляй, здесь будет противника только идти. Понял? И сразу на изготовку. На изготовку сразу стой, жди противника. Стреляй. Жди. Как только кто-то сразу будет, да, сразу. Сразу будет позиции, да, я буду рядом. Пиши. Красавчик. Там вот с той стороны. встречайтесь, я вас жду. Сейчас вместе пойдем. Сейчас вместе пойдем. Сейчас вместе пойдем. Я сейчас с другой стороны иду. Так, ждем. Стой. Иди сюда. Значит, мы сейчас побежим через второй ворот и сразу на второй этаж двумя группами. Одна группа налево, другая направо. Вы вдвоем налево, мы с тобой вдвоем направо. Через ворот. Готов? Погнали. Готово? Так, сейчас пойдем дальше. Только там девушку, ее нужно доводить. Да. Так. Я первый побегу. Вы за мной. Стой. Так, стойте, тихо. Откуда?